Hello, I'm Claudia Granger, and I'm told by Spirit to talk about amber today. It's not really a stone, but millions of years fossilized resin of pine trees. Now, pine and water and the elements of billions of years of, restructuring this resin into a stone-like form have done some workings so that we can have a door opening to a different world when we work with amber. Now, amber is associated in the Greek mythology with the sun god, but also amber was used by nobles in Rome for the enhancement of radiance and being seen and heard. Not so far away from what the amber really does. So there are some secrets which you do not find in books, and that's the ones we want to talk today. But first of all, very simply spoken, amber works with our chakras, our energy field. And when we wear amber for a long time, we can expand our aura significantly. For that purpose, though, we need to connect with the guardian of the stone. I'm saying here stone, amber, and that's tamarind. Now, tamarind is also a tree which is found in Africa, and it's, I think, India too. And it's kind of like a spicy, sweet fruit tree. This guardian named tamarind has not really anything to do with that particular tree, but it has to do with the Kabbalistic worlds and the karma guardian. And amber, when treated right, can bring you that door opening to connect with the karma guardian. I have to be a little bit cautious here because I do not want misuse of this information being on my shoulders in the karmic effect of cause and effect here. So please, what I'm telling you right now, use it with respect in the sense of when you download information and use certain formulas, that you do it with a positive intent. Otherwise, it can backfire onto you and onto me. So please, when you're using what I'm telling you right now, do it with a positive intent, not with a dark intent of power grabbing or downloading information so that you can harness just power and dominion over others. That should not be your intent. Like in the Atlantean sun cult, which is also associated with the stone. That means when you're opening up the information of amber, it can lead you to many cultural information, many secrets which have been harvested through the cultures of centuries and centuries. And there were cultures here before our known world, which is fairly young. We're talking about, millions of years and dinosaurs, but this earth had seen not just Atlantis, but also Lemuria and Mo and so on. And this stone can give us access. How does it do it? Well, you need to be a little bit willing to put effort in. What you do is you take saffron and water and put the saffron into a bottle so that you can shake it. And you will shake it for quite a while, at least 32 minutes. 33 or even better. 33 is the mastery of transformation energy. So when you shake it, the water with the saffron for 32 minutes and speak a prayer, positive prayer formula into it, then it will start opening the doors. That's step one. Step two would be to let the amber lay in that saffron water for days, but at least 14 times 8 hours on a ascending moon ending on a full moon. That means about 4 nights or 4 times 8 hours. If you are not a moon person and want to work more with the sunlight, make sure that the ember does not get overheated, because it doesn't do well being overheated. And also it should never be cooked in hot water. When you use ember, when you want to clean it, please only with lukewarm water and just a little bit soap water and rub it off. Please do not use alcohol on it or any kind of things which could resolve resin, because then you're losing the quality of ember and also the beauty of it. So going back to our formula, when you use it that way, and sun, if you think you need to put it in the sun because your intuition says do it, then at least put it in a shade where sunlight might fall upon it, but not directly in the absolute heat. I would not recommend it. So I would prefer for this stone moonlight, and then ascending moon to full moon. When you have done that and you sip that water, you can do another 32 minutes or, shake it with the prayer, what you want to intend to see, because intention is always the best way, finding the path to that, what you want to see, finding the path to that truth. You could say things like, let me see cause and effect to the highest order for my past and my life and my karmic consequences. Or let me connect with my soul self, my higher self, my sun self, my one star, so that I can be here of service to the best and highest good for all. Or you can put out the intents, let me reconnect with the glorious parts of myself so that I can evolve them more. Stuff like that would be recommended. Or you could also say, I want to be able to go better within and see the light in me and connect with my soul self, my higher self. Or you could say, I want to expand my energy level. I want to heighten my energy level so that I can bring in the divine energy and can share it like an acupuncture point on this planet with others. All these would be good intentions. Or I would like to explore that what I was in Atlantean times or other cultures, which would be conducive to know for my well-being and my fellow brethren well-being here right now in this time and space continuum. So I gave you actually the most exciting thing up front, and now we are going to the basics. As you can imagine, amber comes in all kinds of variations and is found all over the planet. I am German, and so we found amber in the East Sea, some also in the North Sea, but it can be found in Dominican Republic and I think Madagascar and almost everywhere on the planet. So we have here the lighter one, and that lighter one will work with the upper chakras more. And then we have the darker one, which you might not be able to see here right now because of the lighting, but it has almost a reddish tint to it, like garnet. But you will always feel amber warm in your hand. You know, plastic sometimes when you hold it, feels cold, but amber warms up to your hand very fast. That could be the first hint for you to differentiate whether it's artificial amber made out of plastic to be looking like amber. Amber can be found often in these chains or in these, clunker chains, I always call them, which have hard polished stones. And I buy those because they have great properties to work with magically. They still have this little crust parts here, and then they are partially polished. What do I mean with crust? It looks almost like the tree bark had been pressed upon it. And let me see whether I can show this. Here is a little bit residue of that. It's not polished away. So when you have these sort of interludes of rougher skin, then you can most likely be assured it's a natural amber. Sometimes amber gets a little bit reconstituted and oiled and heated. And then we have these roundish little bubble bursts, and it looks like little leaflets, but it has nothing to do with leaves. It's just the bursting of air bubbles in the amber, and then they explode through the heat treatment. That amber is effective, but not as effective as the just slightly polished one. And then we come to amber. I don't know whether with the background one can see it, which can have a little bit insects in there. You can see this. There is a little fly in here. I just bought it because I like this chunky amber stuff because I can work with it so well. And I like to tune into the millions of years of its history with these little flies and whatever there is in. But it does not mean that every amber which has something in it is actually really old, or it's an original insect or an original spider or ant or critter in there. Oftentimes people fake it by crushing original amber and reconstitute it with heat treating processes and put then insects in there and heat it back together, and it looks like it was never made and created. So there are some tests which you can do to figure out what is really amber. The best would be what we learned, or what my grandma told me about the Baltic amber. You take a piece of like tissue and you rub it till the amber gets energized through the friction. And then if the amber can hold that friction and can then lift a tiny piece of paper up, you'll have most likely, because of the static, real amber. Plastic wouldn't do that. So what else is there to say about amber? Well, amber, because it is connected with the karma guardian, the Kabbalistic karma guardian, it can expand your aura, it can expand your presence, it can expand your focus. And as I mentioned, it can bring you to ancient cultures, also in contact to Atlantis and its sun cult. There are several sun cults in the world. And Zarathustra's times, they had also sun cult, but it's not, the Zoroaster, it's not about the sun outside, it's actually about the sun inside. And in the ancient Atlantean time, it was the same way. It was the pathway of the soul, the pathway of the way back to the higher self, the pathway to the one star from which we all came and who we really are still. So the amber can be a guardian of yourself as well. And I recommend it especially for people who are working in the health industry. For example, nurses or care workers, caregivers, or people who are working in nursing homes, where people are depleted of energy and try to energize themselves by other people's energy. For example, if you're in a diseased state and you're in dis-ease, you're trying to ease yourself by having more energy. And oftentimes that happens through the solar plexus. And then, there's an energy grab coming from the diseased person or the person with low frequency levels. And you might feel a pressure in your solar plexus, or a tug in your solar plexus. And I have seen that a lot of nurses need energy support because they're giving so much every day. Therefore, I would recommend for those of you who are nurses or in a caregiving profession or constantly feeling drained, to buy a natural piece of amber and tape this onto your solar plexus, which is about the stomach area. And if you do not want to tape it, wear it as jewelry. But nurses, I've heard, are not allowed to wear jewelry. So the taping of a flat raw stone, if you can obtain one, would be awesome, because then it wouldn't hinder you in the daily workings. If you can wear amber as a pendant, for example, take a good size one, not too small, about this size would be preferable, or something like this. But it should be hanging lower. It can be hanging on your heart, that you create a heart opening and develop a radiant heart. But for the defensive purposes, it's best if it hangs low towards the stomach area, towards your solar plexus. All right, what else can we say about amber? Amber is a stone or resin, which also was used in the ancient cultures to do magic with fragrances. I'm sure you have heard about frankincense and myrrh, but it was used also for alchemical purposes. It can be heated, and then it will, when you put a lighter onto it, it will create a fragrant, spicy smoke. And maybe that's where the name tamarind for the tree originally means, because it means spicy and sweet. And this amber smell is spicy and sweet. And the tamarind tree is supposed to have a fruit which is also spicy and sweet. Maybe that's where the connection of the name comes in. But if you meditate or work with amber, you will get the absolute correct spelling of this, which sounds tamarind or tamarin in German, the name of the guardian. When you work with amber, you can also access a lot of Kabbalistic formulas for intoning and for connecting with entities and deities on higher realms in the Kabbalistic realm, which can bestow a lot of wisdom to you if you like. I did an ancient video about Kabbalistic intoning for bringing both brain parts to the swinging, to the continued swinging level. For kids learning, I did it very slow speaking so that the kids with learning disabilities could follow very easily and do it while I was speaking. And we were intoning the vowels R, R, E, A, E, O, U, because these are the tones, when we sing it correctly, which bring the brain parts into the higher vibration rate and reactivate brain parts which might have been damaged through different circumstances. When we do work with tamarind or the guardian, again, we have to be careful, because he will also interfere if we do something which we're not supposed to do. Therefore, the warning in the beginning and the warning here one more time: if you use this formula with the shaking the prayer into the bottle and then laying the amber into it to open the gateway, and then let it sit under the full moon or with the ascension of the moon for the 4 days, be aware misuse of that what you're getting when you're sipping the water in in a meditative state. It can have consequences. But if you do it the right way, it can make you as radiant as the sun here in the back. By the way, that's a photo of a sunset in Sedona I took. I think it was last year. So everything else about amber, you can read in other articles, but I think that formula is something, it's not in any book because it was downloaded and with good results. One more thing, when you're wearing amber, do not wear amber off other people. If you go to a garage sale and you say, oh, here's an amber necklace, and wow, that looks nice, tune in before you buy it. Because if you have a amber necklace, I'll just take this one. And it has been worn a lot because, you know, in former generations knew what amber did and they loved it and they wore it a lot. Then the frequency of the amber, of the person who wore the amber, is still imbued in the stone. You cannot really clean amber. Just keep that in mind. When you wear it, it is connected to your energy field. It cannot be cleaned in that sense. You can clean it from your creams and whatnot with the lukewarm water and soap, but you cannot clean away the energy which it absorbed. So bear that in mind. If you wear the amber necklace of your favorite aunt and she was dear to your heart and you admired her, you might enhance the qualities you admired in her in yourself. But if you just buy it randomly, you do not know whether this person was good or bad or had a good attitude or whatnot, but you would imbue their energy frequency, which they carried around with them, their attitudes and all that into your space. So think twice about it. If you feel though so drawn to a piece that you want to have it, then I would say, okay, it should be risk-free. Just then again, ask the guardian of the stone, Tamarin or Tamarin, I like that Tamarin better, rolls better off my tongue. Ask to please do not let any karmic energies from that person be anchored into you. Just the good ones. And may he filter out that what is not so good. And that brings me one more time to the scenario with the nurses talking about filters. When we wear it on our solar plexus, it will be permeated with our energy. And so our energy has stoppers. Our energy can blow up like a balloon, or you know, when you air up a balloon, so our energy gets stronger, and we will not give it up to other people all the time. And to the contrary, the guardian will make sure that other people's energy cannot penetrate our little defensive shield around the solar plexus either. Okay, I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoy wearing this magical piece of living near fossilized resin. Enjoy. Bye-bye.